Welcome to Science for Sleep, a space where your mind can wander and your body can rest. Here, we tell slow, soothing stories about the universe, so you can drift off gently while learning something quietly wonderful. Tonight, we begin a soft journey through one of time's strangest secrets, a truth so gentle and yet so powerful. It can stretch moments, slow clocks, and bend the very fabric of reality. It's called time dilation, and it means that time doesn't always move at the same pace for everyone. Not in space, not near gravity, not even here, as you listen and breathe under your cozy covers. So close your eyes, let go of the day, and come with me as we float through the silent rhythm of space, where every second has its own story to tell. Chapter 1. The Tick of a Cosmic Heart. Time is not just numbers on a clock. It breathes, it pulses. Tonight, you settle into a journey that stretches seconds into stardust. Your heartbeat, your breath, your memories, they are stitched into this strange thing called time. Close your eyes as we drift toward the edge of understanding. The ticking begins, slower, softer, like the universe itself is exhaling. Time is not a machine. It is not made of gears or wheels or glowing green digits. Time is more like a breath, steady, invisible, taken for granted until you pause and feel it. Right now, you lie still, eyes closed, while the soft pulse of your heart measures time for you. One beat, then another, a rhythm that has followed you since before you were born. Somewhere, far above your room, a satellite spins around the Earth, ticking with its own quiet clock. Its seconds don't match yours exactly. They never have. But we will return to that later. Tonight, we begin where time becomes soft and strange. Not mechanical, not digital, but something alive. The ticking you hear in your mind is not a sound, but a sense. A pattern you live by without noticing. Wake, sleep, breathe, blink, and through it all, something keeps track. Einstein once imagined chasing a beam of light. He imagined what would happen if you could catch it, ride it. And in that strange dream, he saw that time does not always flow the same way. It can stretch, it can slow, it can pause in peculiar places. You rest in a bed, surrounded by walls, by silence. But your body is not still. Inside you, countless tiny clocks are ticking, cells dividing, nerves firing, blood pulsing in waves. Each tick of your heart echoes a story older than the stars. Because time did not begin with you. It began, as far as we can tell, with a bang, a burst, a breath. The Big Bang, a name too loud for such a gentle unfolding. And in that first instant, time was born. Not like a baby crying, but more like a candle lit. One flicker, and suddenly the universe had a direction. Before that, nothing to move, nothing to change, no seconds to count. No clocks, no days, no before. Now, everything moves through that unfolding. Galaxies drift, planets spin, you breathe. And time records it all, one silent note at a time. But time does not move the same for all things. It does not tick the same for all hearts. Imagine you are holding two clocks, identical, simple, ticking in perfect rhythm. Then you place one on a shelf, and the other you tuck into your bag as you travel the world. You return, and they no longer agree. One has wandered ahead. One has lingered behind. This is not a trick. This is the strange truth. Motion bends time. Gravity bends time. The faster you move, the slower your time flows. But why? What is time really? Not something you can touch or hold. More like the space between heartbeats. More like the shadow cast by change. In your dreams tonight, you may find yourself floating in space. Not falling, not flying, just suspended. And around you, stars blink their quiet light, as if winking in slow motion. Even here, far from clocks or calendars, you feel it. That tick inside you. Time is not what watches measure. Time is what makes the watching matter. Your mind reaches for metaphors. Time is a river. Time is a road. Time is a song. But none of these are quite right, because rivers flow only forward, and time may not. Roads can be walked back, but time leaves no footprints. Songs repeat, but time never returns the same note. So what is it really? Maybe time is a story, one told slowly, with pauses and rhythm and breath. And you, your body, your memories, your thoughts, are the sentences it writes. When you were a child, the days felt long. Summer afternoons stretched like sunlight across the floor. But now, years slip by with barely a whisper. Why? Because your rhythm has changed. Your inner clock ticks differently now. So we ask again, what is time? A child's game? An illusion? A dimension? Or simply the space where change becomes real? Perhaps we're not meant to know. Perhaps we're only meant to feel it, like a pulse beneath our skin. And tonight, that feeling is enough. As your eyes grow heavier, you may begin to sense it. The universe itself has a rhythm. Stars explode and reform. Atoms shiver and settle. Light dances across distance. And everything follows a pattern, a beat, a flow. The cosmic heart ticks, and your own heart listens. Let yourself drift now. Float between seconds. And in that quiet space, ask this. If motion can bend time, what happens when stillness speaks? What happens when you stop chasing the seconds and start listening to them? Chapter 2. The stillness that moves everything. You lie quietly, your body still, breath soft, eyes heavy. And yet, within this stillness, there is motion. You feel it, not in your limbs, but in the hum beneath your skin, in the quiet pull of the earth, in the subtle spinning of the world beneath you. You are not motionless. You are part of a rhythm that never stops. The bed beneath you, the room around you, the trees outside, the stars above, all of it moves. Even as you rest, your body drifts at nearly 1,000 miles per hour, riding Earth's rotation. The planet itself dances a slow circle around the sun, which in turn spirals around the center of our galaxy. And that galaxy? It rushes forward through space, a grand, silent sprint. Every atom in your being is caught in this cosmic waltz. But you don't feel it. That's the mystery. Motion, when shared by everything around you, becomes invisible. When everything moves together, it feels like stillness. You lie perfectly still, and yet you are never at rest. There is a comfort in this contradiction. You are part of a universe that flows, and you are carried effortlessly within it. This invisible movement shapes time. Einstein taught us that time and space are woven into one single fabric, space-time, and motion stretches that fabric. Like your hand gliding through water, movement creates a ripple in the flow. The faster you move, the more time begins to stretch, to slow. Imagine you are in a train gliding along smooth tracks. Inside, everything is peaceful. You sip tea, you read, you dream. the world seems still. But if that train moves close to the speed of light, time itself begins to change. Not just for the world outside, but for you, too. The faster you go, the more time drips instead of flows. This is not an illusion. It is not a trick. It is the truth of our universe. But tonight, we do not need a train or a spaceship. We only need breath. Close your eyes and feel the motion that is already here. The swirl of blood in your veins, the quiet twitch of your dreams, the spinning of electrons in every atom of your body. Tiny dances, microscopic spirals. You are made of motion. Even light moves. Always. It never rests. And because it moves at the ultimate speed, time doesn't touch it the way it touches us. From the point of view of a beam of light, time does not pass at all. It is born, and it arrives in the same instant. This thought is vast and strange and soothing, because it reminds you that time is not just a ticking clock. It is flexible. It responds. When you move, even a little, your time flows just a hair differently than the time of the trees standing still. And if you could move faster, much faster, those differences would grow. Motion sculpts the flow of time. Think of a river. Where it flows fast, it carves deeper paths. Where it slows, it pools in silence. Now think of time as water. Your motion shapes how fast it moves around you. It bends and warps in ways your senses cannot see. And yet, science tells us, this bending is very real. If you were to take a clock and fly it around the earth in a jet, that clock would tick differently from the one on your bedside table. This has been tested. Time bends when we move. Time shifts when we fly. And still, you feel nothing. No tug, no stretch. But maybe that's the beauty of it. The bending of time is like the sound of stars, silent, elegant, invisible to the touch. It allows you to live in your own private stream of moments, while the rest of the world flows alongside you at slightly different speeds. Tonight, your body slows. Your breath becomes the metronome of your being. And as your thoughts begin to float, you sense the deeper movement underneath it all. The earth spins. The stars drift. You are a passenger in a universe that is always in motion. And yet, you are still. What a paradox. That true stillness only exists in the illusion. That even when your muscles surrender to rest, your molecules dance, your cells divide, your heart pulses with the rhythm of life. So when you dream of floating through space, know that part of you already is. You are orbiting the center of the galaxy at over 500,000 miles per hour. You are tracing a spiral path through a cosmos that never stops moving. And time, like a gentle river, flows around your journey. Time is not fixed. Time is a companion to motion. So what happens when something moves so fast, so incredibly fast, that time nearly stops? What does light see? Always running, never resting. In the next breath, we will begin to follow its journey, to see the universe through its ageless eyes. But for now, breathe, drift. Let motion hold you like a cradle. Let time soften around your stillness. Because even in silence, the journey continues. Chapter 3. Light's Reluctant Journey. Light travels fast, unimaginably fast, but never hurries as you breathe slowly. Imagine a beam of starlight trying to touch your hand. Light. Time nearly freezes. What does it see? What does it feel? In its stillness, we find a gentle crack in our understanding of time. You lie still, your body warm beneath a soft blanket of silence. Around you, night hums gently. There are no sharp sounds, no bright thoughts. Only breath, slow and steady. And somewhere above the quiet of your room, the stars are speaking. Their light has traveled for years, decades, centuries, only to touch your eyes. A small shimmer from a dying sun, now whispering to your window. You watch it without trying. You feel it without effort. You let the light arrive. And tonight, you travel with it. Imagine you are no longer lying in your bed, but drifting beside a single photon, a tiny particle of light. It was born in the heart of a star, flung into the dark with no mass, no rest, only speed. The fastest thing in the universe. It moves at what we call the speed of light, nearly 300,000 kilometers per second. But it feels no motion, no time. To you, moving means change. Steps taken, distance crossed. But light doesn't move like that. It doesn't experience time the way you do. From the photon's perspective, the moment it leaves its star and the moment it arrives here are the same. As if the entire journey happens all at once. No waiting, no aging, just now. It's a strange thought, isn't it? That something so fast can also feel so still. That speed can erase the very thing we measure it with, time. Einstein said this happens because, at light speed, the ticking of time slows to nothing, as if the universe holds its breath. And so, the photon rushes without rushing. No pause, no delay, just a long exhale of energy crossing space. Now, feel that in your body. Your heart beats steadily. Your blood flows gently. But even now, as you lie still, light is touching your skin. It dances across your pillow. It moves through the empty space between atoms. It is always here. But you are not the photon. You move through time. You age. You remember. You wait. And that's what makes the mystery so beautiful. Light becomes our guide, a messenger from the universe, showing us where time bends. Every time you look into the sky, you look into the past. That star you see might not exist anymore. Its light is still traveling, still arriving. To you it took years. To light, it took no time at all. It's like catching a dream that started before you were born. The ancient Greeks believed light poured from our eyes, touching the world so we could see it. We now know it works the other way. Light comes to us. It always comes. It never hurries, but it never rests. That gentle paradox of speed and stillness living together is at the heart of time dilation. When you walk, time passes normally. But as you move faster, time begins to shift. If you could somehow ride a beam of light, time would slow for you compared to those left behind. Not just an idea, a truth we have tested over and over. Our satellites account for this. Our experiments confirm it. Our minds still struggle with it. Because it feels like magic. But it's science. Let's go deeper. Picture a train moving fast. Unimaginably fast. And inside that train, a beam of light bounces between two mirrors. To someone on the train, it bounces straight up and down. But to someone watching from the outside, it travels in a zigzag path, covering more distance. And yet, the speed of light must remain the same. So what changes? Time. It must stretch, bend, flow slower for the person on the train. This is the heart of Einstein's idea. The speed of light is a constant. Time is not. And in this truth, we find comfort. Not fear, not confusion, but wonder. Because it means the universe is not fixed. It breathes. It listens. It allows for gentle shifts and beautiful variations. It is not a prison of seconds and hours. It is a living fabric, one you move through in your own quiet way. As you lie here, you are part of this dance. Your atoms absorb light. Your thoughts are powered by it. Every color you see, every warmth you feel, comes from light's reluctant journey across the stars. And yet, light is humble. It does not seek attention. It does not need applause. It simply travels, quietly, faithfully, bringing the past into the present. Now close your eyes and think of a single ray of light from a galaxy far beyond. It may have begun its journey before humans even walked the earth. It traveled without pause, without knowing its destination. And tonight, it lands on your skin. You are the end of its story. And in this moment, you realize that time is not only about clocks. It is about connection. Between places. Between moments. Between stars in you. You breathe. The photon lands. And the silence deepens. But if light can move so fast that time halts, what happens when speed meets gravity? When the downward pull of planets begins to bend the flow of time itself? The light keeps moving, but space begins to warp. And you, gently, begin to follow. Let's drift upward, toward the orbiting clocks, and listen to what time whispers there. Chapter 4. The slower clock in orbit. Above your head, satellites circle the Earth like curious fireflies. And up there, time ticks just a little differently, just a little slower. Why do their clocks disagree with ours on the ground? You float beside them now, listening to this quiet argument between gravity and time. The difference is small, but it echoes forever. Imagine lying still on a quiet field, the grass brushing your arms, the night sky wide and black above you. You stare upward, and far beyond the reach of clouds, satellites sweep across the heavens to the naked eye. They seem like slow stars, drifting with purpose, but they are not still. They are racing. Each one of those machines carries a clock. Precise, disciplined, always ticking. Yet something strange happens as they spin above you. Their clocks begin to disagree with the ones we keep down here. It is not a flaw. It is the fabric of space and time itself responding to their position. You close your eyes and imagine yourself rising slowly, gently pulled into orbit. There is no roar of engines here. Just the soundless calm of motion through the sky. The earth spins below you, a blue marble turning in silence. Your body floats. Your thoughts settle. Now, imagine the ticking of your watch. Each second measured, expected, reliable. But in orbit, each tick takes just a little longer to arrive. Time stretches. Just slightly. Just enough. This gentle slowing is what physicists call time dilation, a phenomenon predicted by Einstein's theory of relativity. It tells us that time does not pass at the same rate for everyone, everywhere. Motion and gravity shape it, bend it, stretch it like a soft ribbon in the wind. A GPS satellite orbits Earth at about 14,000 kilometers per hour. Because it is moving so fast, time flows more slowly for it compared to someone standing still on Earth. The difference is minuscule, nanoseconds, but vital. Without adjusting for this, your phone could place you miles away from where you actually are. Now drift beside one of these satellites. Feel the balance between Earth's pull and the satellite's momentum. It doesn't fall. It doesn't fly away. It dances down a perfect arc around a world it never truly leaves. From this high perch, you begin to feel time not as a straight line, but as a slope. Down on the planet, the pull of gravity is stronger, and time runs just a hair slower there too. Stronger gravity slows time more. Weaker gravity lets it run a little freer. It's as if the Earth clutches seconds tighter than the space above. So here you are, drifting in the soft silence above Earth, caught between motion and mass. Each heartbeat is slightly longer than the ones below. Each blink a breath slower. You have not changed, but time has. This difference, though tiny, builds over time that if you lived up here for years, you would return to Earth slightly younger than those who stayed behind. That a strange gift from space. A soft bending of time in your favor. You are a traveler in seconds. This is not science fiction. It is how astronauts age a little slower than the rest of us, the poetic truth hiding in the laws of physics. Their experience of time is real, measurable, and beautifully strange. As you float, you wonder, what else might be ticking slower out here? What other quiet arguments are happening in the folds of time and motion? The universe is full of clocks we cannot see, beating inside stars, black holes, even your very cells, each one moving to a different rhythm. Time and orbit becomes a soft debate. Gravity pulls, speed pushes, and between them, seconds stretch like whispers in the dark. You feel this stretch now, not as fear, but as peace. It means that time is alive, responsive, and quietly strange. Looking down at Earth, you realize you are not detached. You are connected. Your slower clock is part of the same symphony. Just a note played in a different tempo, still music, still meaningful. The stars above you hold steady. The planet turns below, and time, in all its flexibility, carries you gently forward, not lost. Just slower, not wrong, just different. You float there, not as a scientist, but as a dreamer. A thinker with a quiet question cradled in their chest. If time can bend so gently here, where else does it soften? Where else does it let go of its grip? Just a little? Your breath slows. The satellite drifts. And in this still orbit, time makes its quiet confession. It is not rigid. It listens. It dances with gravity. It hums with speed. It adapts. And so must you. Tomorrow, you'll drift deeper into this understanding, toward gravity's next secret, toward the subtle way weight, pull, and pressure whisper to the clock in your chest. Chapter 5. Gravity's Gentle Pull on Time. Gravity doesn't just hold you down. It slows you down. Not your body, but the time flowing through you, like a soft hand pressing gently on a clock's second hand. You walk up a mountain, and the seconds change. Up here, time moves a little freer, like a whisper through the clouds. You lie still now, letting your breath settle into the quiet rhythm of the night. With each inhale, the weight of your body deepens into the mattress, and with each exhale, you drift a little further into that space between awareness and dreaming. Gravity cradles you, not harshly, not forcefully, but like a steady hand on your shoulder, reminding you that you belong here. You rarely notice gravity. It's always there, so familiar it disappears. Yet tonight, as you sink into its pull, you feel it more tenderly. A quiet force, a grounding lullaby. You are being held by Earth itself. But gravity does more than hold you down. It holds time, too. like fingers pressing ever so slightly on the second hand of a clock, slowing its motion. And because you live at the bottom of a great ocean of air, deep in Earth's gravity well, time here flows just a little slower than it does above. Not enough to notice, not enough to change your day, but enough to matter in the grand sweep of the universe. Imagine, now, that you are walking up a mountain. The air thins. The trees grow sparse. Your breath grows slower, but your steps are sure. With each step higher, gravity's pull on you weakens. Just slightly. Just enough that the seconds begin to loosen, as if time is sighing with relief. Your watch still ticks the same, but to a clock at sea level, yours is just a tiny bit faster. Maybe a billionth of a second faster per year. A whisper of feathers difference. But it's real. Measurable. Time bends upward. High above, satellites spin in their orbits. And to keep your GPS from leading you astray, engineers must account for these subtle differences in time. They correct the clocks, tuning them gently to the song of gravity. So tonight, you imagine yourself lighter. Not just in body, but in time. Rising through layers of air and pressure, feeling the weight of each second loosen. The higher you go, the freer time becomes. It stretches. It lengthens like a thread gently pulled. This idea may feel like a dream, but it's not fiction. It's the heart of Einstein's theory of general relativity, that gravity is not a force pulling you down, but a bending of space and time around mass. The Earth curves the fabric of time itself, and your body, your watch, your thoughts move along that curve. Picture a soft sheet pulled taut. Place a heavy ball in its center. The sheet dips. This is how Earth shapes time. Now place a marble near the edge. It rolls inward, not because of some invisible rope, but because the fabric beneath it bends. In the same way, your life is drawn along the curve of time shaped by Earth. At sea level, you're closer to the center of gravity's embrace. Time flows thick and slow, like honey. At the mountaintop, it runs thinner, like wind. This is not something you can feel directly, but it's happening inside you, in your heartbeat, your thoughts, the quiet spinning of electrons inside your cells. Every atom is a tiny metronome, ticking with the rhythm of time. Gravity changes their tempo. Imagine your body as a library of clocks. Each molecule, each neuron, each heartbeat, a timekeeper. And as gravity presses gently on you, it slows that symphony down. Not in a painful way, not in a way that you would notice, but in the same way that dusk slips into night, so softly you don't remember the moment it changed. Now you see that gravity isn't only downward, it's inward. It reaches through you, around you, shaping not just where you stand, but how you experience the moment. And as you lie still now, you may begin to feel it. The weight of time, how it pulls around you, how it moves more slowly the closer you are to mass, how the seconds stretch gently when you rise. So what happens if you keep going up? If you rise above the clouds, into the sky, into orbit, do the clocks keep speeding up? They do. And soon, we'll go there. We'll leave the Earth behind, and let time unwrap us from its heavier folds. Let the thought linger. You are not only held by gravity, you are shaped by it, and it is shaping time around you, always. You breathe again. The air is calm, and above, a little higher, time waits for you. It flows just a little faster, and the next chapter begins, drifting upward toward the stars. where your body becomes slower among the shining silence. Chapter 6. Your body, slower among the stars. You are weightless now, orbiting Earth in the cradle of night. Your watch still ticks, but Earth below ages faster. You nap for an hour, and the world dreams a little longer. How strange that speed gives you time, like a cosmic gift. Let your body float through this lullaby of relativity. You are floating above the Earth now, suspended in silence, wrapped in the still hum of low orbit. Below you, the world turns, slow, beautiful, unaware. The lights of cities shimmer like resting neurons. The oceans stretch like a calm breath. And yet, as peaceful as this place is, something curious is happening to you and to time itself. Time, that soft, invisible current you live within, does not behave the same up here. Your body feels the stillness. Your limbs no longer know weight. Your breath slows not from fatigue, but from wonder. And inside your quiet chest, your heart ticks gently, just a little more slowly than the hearts of those far below. It's a gift of speed. You're moving faster than you've ever moved before, nearly 17,000 miles per hour around the Earth. But it doesn't feel like speed. There's no wind, no engine, no resistance. It feels like floating inside a moment stretched by motion itself. Einstein once imagined this very thing, that when you travel fast, time relaxes its grip. Each second in your body stretches ever so slightly longer than it would down there, on the surface. And though your watch still ticks, each tick covers more distance in the universe of time. If someone waits for you on Earth, they are aging faster. Not by years, not even by hours, but by milliseconds, tiny differences that quietly compound. If you lived long enough in orbit, far from Earth's pull, you would return younger than your twin. Not because time forgot you, but because motion cradled you. It's called time dilation, a soft distortion in the fabric of existence caused by movement at high speeds. You've heard the word dilation before, when pupils widen in the dark, when spaces open and stretch. And now, your time, too, is dilated. Imagine an hourglass tilted ever so slightly. The grains still fall, but they fall a little slower for you than for those tilted the other way. That is your body's experience now. Floating, ticking, waiting. You nap in the capsule. Your dreams unspool like thread into the cosmos. Back on Earth, someone glances at the clock. An hour has passed. But here, that hour was slightly longer. Imperceptibly, gently stretched like warm taffy pulled between stars. In this lullaby of motion, even the smallest shift in seconds matters. That's why GPS satellites carry correction codes. If they didn't account for this gentle bending of time, they'd be off by miles in a single day. Every map, every signal, every path depends on adjusting for the slow, stretched seconds of orbit. Your body becomes a quiet testament to this truth. Every molecule, every breath, every blink, slightly out of sync with the rhythm of Earth. Not broken, not wrong, just softly asynchronous. And yet you feel no change. Your thoughts are not delayed. Your heartbeat is still your own. That's the wonder. Time changes, and you never even notice. In the stillness of space, you begin to imagine the strange mercy of time's flexibility. How kind it is, in a way, that you are not trapped in a rigid tick. That speed, gravity, and distance can change the tempo. Your eyelids grow heavy. The stars out your window don't twinkle, but stare, bold, unblinking, ancient. You wonder, what is time to them? Do they feel it? Or are they simply mirrors for its passing? You reach out, fingers brushing nothing but thought. And in your drifting body, you feel it again, the stretch, the float, the peace. Time is not leaving you behind. It is simply holding you differently. You wonder if aging slower means living longer. Maybe not in years, but in experience. What if slowing time isn't about numbers, but about noticing? Maybe that's what speed gives you. The contrast that makes each second shimmer. Your breath deepens. Around you, Earth curves gently beneath its blanket of cloud. The planet ages below, with every turn, with every tide. But here in this capsule, nestled in night, you are just a little behind. Or maybe, just maybe, a little ahead. Because slowing down time, in motion or in mind, means you get to witness more, feel more, be more. The clocks still tick, both here and there, but yours sings a slightly slower lullaby. Let it carry you deeper into this cosmic cradle, a place where time is not lost, but gently reshaped. And in that soft reshaping, a new question begins to form, lingering like a whisper. If time bends with motion, what does gravity do to it? Chapter 7. Twins who age apart. Two twins, born seconds apart, walk different paths across the stars. Point one flies at light speed, the other stays behind. Years pass for one, decades for the other. This isn't science fiction. This is Einstein's quiet truth. Tonight, you become both twins and feel what it's like to age differently. Imagine yourself as two, not in metaphor, but in presence. Two people, identical in face, voice, soul. Two versions of you standing side by side at the edge of dawn. Hearts beating in sync, eyes looking out toward very different skies. You and your twin. You're born within a breath of each other. Same tiny fingers. Same soft laugh. Same lullabies. Time, in its earliest form, cradles you both in the same rhythm. But something stirs. Not conflict, just curiosity. Your twin dreams of the stars, of speed, of light. And one day, the journey begins. A spacecraft hums quietly in the distance, ready to move faster than anything has ever dared. Your twin climbs aboard, not in haste, but in wonder. You stay behind, grounded, still wrapped in the gentle pull of Earth. They wave goodbye. You smile. Clocks begin their quiet disagreement. Time on Earth is slow, steady, familiar. Sunrises melt into sunsets. Birthdays come and go. You walk through life's ordinary moments. Cup of tea, soft rain, warm hand on your shoulder. Decades pass, gently. Up there, beyond the clouds, things are stranger. Your twin moves close to the speed of light, and the faster they move, the slower time wraps around them. This is an illusion. It's woven into reality. Time, stretched and thinned like honey. Einstein once said that time is not universal. It is elastic. And here, you see it. Two twins, one anchored, one racing through the stars. And time, behaving like a secret with two faces. You age. Hair grays, laugh lines deepen. You build a life, quietly. Your twin? They age, too, but slower. Much slower. For them, months pass. For you, years. Your hearts once beat together. Now they drift. Not out of sync, but out of time. You write letters you know they won't read until later. You wonder if they remember your shared songs, your mirror smile. And somewhere in space, your twin floats through silence. Clocks ticking in whispers, the universe stretching every second. Until one day, the journey ends. The ship returns. You, older now, walk slowly to meet them. And there they are, your twin, still young. Eyes still bright. Skin still smooth. They left for a few months. You lived through decades. You embrace. And for a moment, time closes the gap. Not by catching up, but by holding both of you in its arms. Smiling at the way it fooled you both. You walk together now, side by side once more. But the difference lingers. Not in bitterness, only in awe. You have lived longer. You have seen more sunrises. But they have traveled where time folds like soft fabric. And this isn't fiction. It is the heartbeat of relativity. Einstein's thought experiment, real and breathing between two souls. Time, after all, is not what you think it is. You sit together on a quiet bench. No words, just presence. One aged by time, one preserved by speed. But your silence is the same. And in that hush, a question arrives, gentle like falling dusk. If time moves slower in motion, what happens to the body inside that silence? What does your heartbeat feel when the seconds stretch? What does your body know about time? That clocks cannot tell. Chapter 8. The clock in your chest. You don't need a watch. Your body is a clock. Every cell, every breath, every blink. All count time in their own way. What happens when time bends? Does your body notice? Does your heart tick slower? 2. Let's feel time from the inside out. You lie still, tucked beneath the soft weight of your blanket, as the quiet world exhales around you. No ticking clock, no glowing screen. And yet, time continues. Not out there, but within you. You are not just observing time. You are time. Every beat of your heart, every sigh, every subtle shift in your chest marks a moment past. Your chest rises and falls. You breathe without thinking, but somewhere deep in your brain, a clock is keeping count. Each inhale a soft drum, each exhale a whisper. The rhythm is ancient, older than words, older than stars. You are made of time. Inside your body, billions of cells are dancing. Not chaotically, but precisely. Ticking, pulsing. Some divide, some rest. Some send messages down microscopic highways. They all know when to wake and when to sleep. Even in silence, they are orchestrated like a slow-motion symphony. Scientists call it the circadian rhythm, a 24-hour song your body sings to itself. It's guided by light, by temperature, by genes written into your very being. It's why you feel sleepy now, why your muscles soften, why your mind lets go. The rhythm says it is time, and yet time is not fixed. You've learned this already. It bends, it stretches, and if clocks slow down on rockets and satellites, what happens to the clock inside you? Imagine this. You are aboard a spacecraft, gliding far above Earth, moving faster than any bird has ever flown. Outside your window, the stars blur. Back home, your family is living their day. But for you, time is slightly slower. Just a fraction. Invisible to your senses, but real. And still, your heart beats. Still you breathe. But the beat is ever so different. Not from your perspective, from theirs. If they could watch you, really watch you, they'd see your life move just a breath behind. Your cells would age a blink slower. Your memories would stretch a second longer. A whisper of delay, but a whisper that counts. You, in space, are the same, and yet different. The clock in your chest doesn't know it's changed, but physics says it has. The universe has gently placed its hand on your shoulder and said, "Not so fast." This is time dilation made personal. And what about gravity? You're back on Earth now, but imagine living at the bottom of a great ocean trench. Gravity is heavier there, stronger. You feel its press in your bones. Time slows, ever so slightly. Now, picture living atop a mountain. The sky above you is vast and thin. Gravity is gentler there. Time moves a little quicker. Your body adapts. Slowly, wordlessly, it feels its place. Without thinking, your cells adjust their rhythm. Just enough. You don't notice the shift. But it happens. Because the clock in your chest is not alone. It's part of the larger clock of the cosmos. Even your memories are clocks. They mark sequences, moments, feelings. Ever noticed how time seems to stretch when you're waiting? Or how it vanishes when you're lost in a dream? Your brain isn't lying to you. It's just measuring time by emotion, not mechanics. That sunset you remember so clearly? It lasted forever, didn't it? But the stopwatch would say it was only 4 minutes. Tonight, as your body rests and your thoughts begin to blur, think about all the ways you're keeping time. Not just by your wristwatch, but through your breath, your blood, your brain waves. Tiny electrical pulses flicker across your neurons. Heartbeats echo in your ears. Even your skin renews itself in a cycle, unseen and precise. You are time, wrapped in skin. You are a living pendulum, a soft engine of rhythm. Even now, as your thoughts drift, your body does not forget the beat. And should you travel faster, or deeper, or farther from this world, your rhythm would shift. Quietly, without pain, without warning, but truthfully. And this is the beauty of time dilation, that it isn't just a theory for stars and rockets. It's inside you. It's written in your cells, woven into your sleep, alive in your very breath. You turn slightly, the sheet sliding across your skin. Another moment passes, another heartbeat, and somewhere, a satellite ticks just a little slower. The universe keeps score. Your chest, your clock, your rhythm, they are all part of this score. And if your body can sense time shifting without knowing it, what does the earth remember when the stars begin to fade? But that's a question for the universe itself, and perhaps one only memory can answer. Chapter 9. When the universe remembers differently. Galaxies expand, stars collapse, and time flows unevenly across the cosmos. What does the universe remember? And what does it forget? If 1 second can stretch into hours near a black hole, is time ever fair? Tonight, you'll drift through memories written in curved space, and wonder, who writes the universe's diary? The stars above you blink gently, like the universe is breathing in its sleep. You drift beneath their watchful eyes, not as a body in space, but as a presence within time. The air is still. Your thoughts begin to quiet. A question rises slowly, like a bubble through deep water. How does the universe keep time? And more curiously, what if its clocks don't all agree? Time, you've come to learn, is not a river flowing evenly through the cosmos. It bends. It stretches. It moves in slow spirals around heavy things. It speeds up in quiet corners and drips slowly in others. You close your eyes and let yourself drift through these uneven tides. Imagine a distant galaxy, one whose light takes billions of years to reach your sleepy eyes. What you see is not the present. It is memory, a cosmic photograph, frozen in ancient light. You are always looking back in time, even when you gaze up on a still night. The stars speak in the past tense. Now shift your thoughts to something denser, stranger, a black hole. Not a monster, not a mouth, but a memory well. Gravity so deep, time itself slips inward. Imagine standing at the edge of one, where your seconds stretch out like threads of honey. From your point of view, a minute passes, but to someone watching you from afar, your movements slow until you seem almost still. You do not fall. You drip. Black holes are the universe's forget-me-nots. They hold the outlines of everything they've swallowed. The memory of light, the echo of mass. Yet, even here, memory plays tricks. The closer you approach the event horizon, that final edge, the more time distorts. To the universe outside, you become a statue of light. To yourself, you keep moving, unaware that outside, stars are dying and being born while you hover. And in this stretching of time, a new question rises. Is the universe fair? If time can move slowly near a black hole, but quickly in the vast vacuum between galaxies, then what does it mean to measure? To compare? Two identical moments can unfold very differently, depending on where they exist. In valleys of gravity, time rests. On mountaintops of space, it sprints. Even here, on Earth, time is not perfectly even. If you stood on a beach and your friend stood on a mountain, her watch would tick a fraction of a second faster than yours. You would age differently, though so subtly it would take centuries to notice. Still, the universe notices. It is not a single diary, but a patchwork of journals written in different hands, at different speeds. The earth spins. The moon tugs at oceans. The sun bends time gently around itself. You, lying quietly, feel none of this. And yet it shapes your every second. When you speak, your voice rides on curved time. When you dream, your neurons fire through a web touched by gravity's fingers. Somewhere in a lab, an atomic clock ticks with unflinching rhythm. But even the most perfect timekeeper can't outrun the curves of space. It must account for them, adjust itself like a sailor to wind. And so, when your GPS tells you where you are, it does so by honoring Einstein's truth. Time bends. Your body is a soft machine, unaware of these vast mechanics. But you carry time with you. In your bones, your blood, your cells. Some molecules take hours to decay. Others take years. Your very structure is a memory of time's passing. Now, imagine a star collapsing. A massive, burning heart finally giving in to its own weight. As it shrinks, time near its surface slows. If you could stand nearby, which you can't, you would watch centuries pass in the distance, while only minutes pass for you. Stars do not die in silence. They warp the memory of time as they go. In this uneven cosmos, history is always relative. One corner of the universe remembers quickly, another slowly forgets. Perhaps, then, time is not a universal truth, but a local experience. Like weather, calm in one place, stormy in another. You are not in time, as if it were a thing. You are time, stitched into its rhythm, dancing to its local beat. The universe does not remember the way you do. It stores no photographs, no albums, no childhood echoes in dusty drawers. But it does remember in motion, in shape, in the warping of light. Every star's glow carries a timestamp. Every galaxy's spin tells a story. So tonight, as your eyes grow heavier, think of yourself as part of that story. Not a spectator, but a chapter. The blood in your veins, the warmth of your skin, the pull of your breath. These are all ways of keeping time. And though time stretches and slips, it never truly disappears. It folds itself around gravity, curls up in motion, and waits patiently for you to notice. You float now through this soft, curved landscape. The universe does not mind that your seconds move differently than a star's. It only asks that you notice, that you wonder, and if memory is uneven in this great expanse, then perhaps the question isn't whether time is fair, but whether it is kind. And just beyond the stillness, another question flickers like a gentle pulse. If your body is a clock, what does it feel like when the seconds shift within your chest? Chapter 10, The Soft Edge of Forever. We end where all stories pause, not with a conclusion, but with a question. What is time, really? A river? A breath? A shadow behind the stars? You've floated through the folds of space-time. You've seen clocks bend. Now, let the quiet close in again. Let the questions linger. Tomorrow, time will begin anew, and you'll wake up just a little older. Time never shouts. It whispers, softly, beneath everything. You lie still now, cradled by silence, surrounded by the gentle rhythm of your breath. You don't need to move. You don't need to think. You only need to feel the slow turning of the world beneath you, the hush of the cosmos around you. Time feels endless here, but not because it stretches on and on. Not because there are infinite seconds waiting behind the next minute. It feels endless because it can never quite be held. Like mist, like the outline of a dream as it fades. You've wandered through its landscape. You've listened to the clocks on satellites tick just a little slower. You've floated with twin souls who age apart, bound by love and relativity. You've touched the edge of starlight, where time leans forward, slows down, pauses. And still, you don't hold it. No one ever does. Because time is not a possession. It is a presence, a soft companion, always just ahead, always just behind. You might wonder now, what is it really? A river? Yes, perhaps. It flows, bends around gravity, quickens in the deep places, but also a breath. Inhale, exhale. It arrives and leaves. Or maybe a canvas, one you can't see, but on which everything is painted. And yet, when you search for it, in your hands, in your mind, in the ticking of the clock, it retreats. As if time knows it is not meant to be caught, only accompanied. The stars you look up to are old. Some are gone. Their light still traveling. So even starlight lives in delay, the past shining on your present. And maybe that's the most comforting part of time. It holds memory. It allows light to echo. It lets things linger. That moment you laughed in the sun. That night you stayed awake, wondering. That first step you took into something unknown. They are not gone. They are woven into you, into the fabric of now. You close your eyes. Time does not stop, but it no longer feels hurried. You remember Einstein's thought that the separation between past, present, and future is only an illusion, a stubborn one. So maybe you are still in that laugh, still in that night, still taking that first step. And maybe, right now, someone far away is seeing the light from the version of you that once looked up at the stars, wondering if they look back. There is peace in that. Time makes space for wonder, for questions without answers. It is the quietest teacher. You let yourself drift through its softness. It feels like floating, like being carried by something ancient and kind. And maybe time is kind. It gives second chances. It moves forward even when you don't feel ready. It teaches you to let go. And gently, it gives you sleep. Tonight, you sleep inside its arms. You do not race ahead. You do not rewind. You simply stay here, in the pause. The universe is still expanding. Space is stretching. Galaxies move farther apart. Time stretches with them. But your body is still. Your breath slow. Your thoughts soft. You imagine the edges of the universe. You wonder if they exist. If time goes on forever. Or if it folds in on itself like pages of a book we cannot yet read. Maybe it ends not with a bang, but with a breath. Or maybe it never ends. Maybe it circles back. Maybe you are the echo of a star that lived before time began. Maybe your thoughts are ripples across the surface of a deeper ocean. The answers don't arrive, but neither does the need for them. Because the questions themselves are enough. They are lullabies for the curious. They let you sleep with your eyes on the stars. They let you dream with science folded into story. And as time continues its invisible path, you are here, wrapped in wonder, drifting, your mind soft, your heart open. There is no ending here, just a soft edge, where science becomes stillness, where the ticking of time becomes the beat of your breath, where you fall asleep not knowing the answers, only feeling the question. And somewhere, just beyond that question, light is still traveling, toward the next idea, toward a new beginning, toward the stillness that moves everything. And now, you've reached the edge of thought, where curiosity curls up like a cat in sunlight, and wonder breathes slow and deep. The stars still hum their questions. But for tonight, your mind has wandered far enough. You've floated through gravity's hush, danced beside photons, listened to time stretch like silk. Everything you are, atoms, memories, stardust, knows how to rest. So let the silence take you now. Let your breath become soft, like waves meeting sand. You are safe. You are still. And somewhere, the universe turns slowly, gently, without needing you to chase it. Good night, curious traveler. Sleep well, until the next question comes.